in prior years, we've had a separate line item for Medicare Part B penalties under the executive offices, and the governor's budget proposes to roll this $100,000 line item into the Office of Administration. And wanted to ask why that might be. I understand this Medicare Part B penalties is something that affects a specific number of former Commonwealth employees, and it is something that, that the state has covered based on a liability that the state has had. So could you give us a little bit of a background on this and why it would make sense to blend it into a bigger line item instead of just singling it out since it has such a specific purpose?
I did look at that number because it was an interesting number to see in the budget very early on. And the response to me was that when employees become Medicare eligible, sometimes we've asked them, as I understand it now, not to apply for Part B immediately because of other situations and other costs that are involved. There are penalties for not doing that when you become eligible, and the Commonwealth has chosen, because there are savings in other areas, to pay those penalties for employees. And I understand it will be an ongoing expense line item on the budget, but there are savings in other areas. So that's at least my understanding of it.
And I think that's a little bit different than my understanding. I thought my understanding was this was a something that happened at a specific point in time where there was maybe so to correct my understanding, this is something that may continue to happen. This is not that we have a specific population of employees that once they age out, that we will no longer have that expense. That is an ongoing expense that the Commonwealth has determined to strategically take on. Would that be correct?
That's my understanding, yes.
Okay. Would it be possible to get it broken out for how many individuals are in that situation that the Commonwealth is paying that for, and how much of that money was spent in the prior year under that $100,000 line item?
It's certainly available, yes.
Yes, we'll get that to you. That number is trending down. It went from about 3,000, I believe, at the onset, down to about 500 currently, and we'll see that continue to trend down. But we'll get you all that information in a follow-up.
Excellent, because yeah, I do think it would be helpful to see that, and then also if the department could provide any narrative as far as why it would make sense to have that as a component of the OA's general line item as opposed to a broken out line item, which would certainly be a more transparent way to handle it.